Welcome, everyone, on this fabulous day in January the 19th in the year 2026. We are just rolling along already in the new year, and I am so far behind on stuff, and I don't even want to discuss it. So, I'd like to introduce my co host today, Marcia. How are you doing?
I am doing great. And since you said rolling along, you know what that's going to make me think of, okay?
I know, but I don't
I'm
care.
currently in Northeast Florida. It's cool here, but Michael made me think it's 2026. Where is my flying car? Okay? We need it. We
And
need it.
I have told you over and over again, I'm holding it up because you don't need it right now.
You're probably right. But I am so happy to be here in 2026 with our guest today, DJ Tinaz. How are you?
Hi, great. Thank you for having me. I'm so stoked to be here. This is awesome.
And you are currently in
I'm
LA.
in LA right now. I actually had to like close my blinds a little bit because the sun's beaming. It is beautiful right now. So I'm trying to enjoy it for sure.
Yeah. Now, were you there when it was raining there for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. When was that? That was
About a week or two ago.
yeah, that was yeah. I felt like we had a really long uh, summer, and then we're going into crazy coolness, and then I'm thinking this is like the last bit of kind of sun before we go into the deep,
Mhm.
deep,
Now,
long, cold winter. You know?
yeah, although you're currently in LA, I believe you might have been originally from Southern California area.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I bounced around. I was a military brat. My dad was in the Navy. I was born in Virginia,
Oh,
Virginia Beach. I couldn't even tell you the specifics because I was 3 years old when I moved, but
oh,
um, hopped around here and there, and then I settled in Temecula, California, out in the like Inland Empire, and that's where I did grade school and
mhm,
all of that jazz. And then
mhm.
I ended up just a 2 hour drive away from the hometown and settled in LA and
Okay.
doing the performance stuff.
But you graduated, you went to San Francisco State also
I
for
did, yeah,
cinema.
yeah, yeah. It was kind of weird because it was during that COVID time, so it was like I was in San Francisco, but like a good portion of it was back home online when they sent everyone home. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I spent some time out there, and then when I graduated, I was like, okay, I don't really want to go back to living in the big city, and then you go back to the small town. It's like, oh man,
Mm-hmm.
well, I love Southern California, and I already was planning to go into somewhere in the entertainment industry, so I landed on LA
Mm-hmm.
to 2020, end of 2023. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
been a few years now.
Yeah.
It's been great. I love it out here. It's amazing.
Yeah. I've been to California more than a couple of times in the San Diego area because I'm a sci-fi geek. So I've
Oh
gone
yeah.
to San Diego Comic-Con
Uh-huh.
more than a couple of times. And reason I brought up about the rain is because when I got there the first time, I said it never rains here. So how do you get such beautiful flowers? And the plants are
Irrigate.
so it's like magic.
That we get the flooding, and then it just goes away for like
Hmm.
a year, and then another flooding, and then it does make for some beautiful
Yeah.
fields that are grown, like when you're driving through. We have all the mountains and valleys out here, and
Hmm.
once the rain comes, it's like, wow, it is beautiful. If we got this year round, it would be a fantasy Tolkien land.
Hmm. Okay, now let's dive some more into DJ. And another thing, when I saw your name, it made me think: do people think that you're a DJ?
Right. No, so yes, especially when I moved to LA because of the music scene out here. So I've been playing with do I put the periods in there now? Is it about that time?
Hmm.
Because yeah, my mom wanted to name me David and my dad wanted to name me Joel. and they were like, you know what? I was born, and they were like, you know what? He kind of looks like a kid that could go by his initials, the DJ, and it was like a good compromise. And I just went through school, and he was like, once I become a lawyer, once I become a doctor, I'll go to David, right? I'll stick with David. But I ended up going down this route, which you don't really need to have a super professional name for. And I'm thinking, oh, J.J. Abrams, right? Like you can get away with it, right? DJ Tinaz, there's a little pizzazz to that. I don't know. So but when I moved here, it was like, oh yeah, what's up, Tinaz? Like, what kind of music do you make? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't produce. I don't do any of the. So it's funny you asked that because I have gotten. And I'm like, okay, if I either go to David or I go. I know some people drop the last name and they'll do like David Joel, Billy Joel. I don't, Billy Idol, D period, J period. So yeah, it's in the works right now, Marcia.
Okay. It's a developing.
Right. Yes.
So, well, you studied at San Francisco State in cinema, and is that where you got the acting bug, or was it always kind of there?
I'd say it was always. I did the improv team in high school, and I was one of the boys in Lord of the Flies. Not like I was literally one of the two liners. Like, yeah, kill Piggy. Like that was probably my big line.
That was it.
So I knew it was always there, and I loved doing it. And when I went but I loved filmmaking. I did the school news, and like loved setting up the cameras, and trying to get the best performances out of the school anchors. Like that was a learning experience in and of itself. And so I was like, oh, I want to follow the dream. And I was always, just right outside of the LA County area. So I knew that was right there. And I knew I was blessed to be like growing up in this area too, where there's people in the middle of nowhere that would just dream to be nearby and try to make connections with that. So I tried to run with it, and then I went to San Francisco. My dad, military with the GI Bill, like really helped me out with the cost of living up there and everything. And it was a huge blessing, and I loved it. And you cannot get into the film classes until you are a junior, senior in college. So I was like, okay, I want to get on set. I know this is a very costly experience, so I just started auditioning for the thesis films going on out there, and I ended up just filling my weekends with the thesis films, and even doing that into my junior, senior year, all the way through college. Fast forward to moving here, and I had just this big reel in front of me, and I'm meeting I got something plugged into my computer here. And so I'm meeting other actors out here, and they're like, man, I need some real material. And I'm okay, well, I got some. And, this is right after the strikes. This is a little bit like even the fires from last year, just like everything accumulating, where I'm like, if I'm going to be unemployed and being a young 20-something reckless person out here, I'm going to at least audition while I'm at it. So and with the vertical world, it's a lot easier to kind of step into that versus getting an agent for the big network TV shows. And it works as great just training and discipline to get up and do those auditions every day. And so that's kind of where the ball started rolling, and PAing and the just like all of that just stopped being as attractive to me. And so I'm kind of riding this wave right now. And I have a ton of friends I've met out here who moved down from college who I keep telling them, I'm going to let you guys become the big producers, the big guys in the industry in 10 years. So if push comes to shove and I need to, sunset the acting life, like, maybe they can get me a job in the mailroom or something. And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So you mentioned your transition to the vertical world. Your first vertical, was it when you were a party guest? Was that your first one where you were?
I think my first, it was this see, I literally have the credits pulled up here. It was, so yes, I know my Hockey Alpha
My
is,
Hockey Alpha.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that one I think was released first, but Faded to My Cruel CEO was my first experience on a vertical set, the one I think that's listed right after. And I didn't realize at the time, but like there are some freaking superstars on this cast. Like if looking back, like because I mean we shot this in 2023. I think it came out a little bit later. But like Casey, Autumn, Mark, I think
Yes.
I saw you guys are interviewing Mark. Like these
Mhm.
guys are tanks right now in the industry, and I was just rolling the dice on like what this vertical world was at the time, and having those three as the leads and just in the green room like shooting the stuff and talking to them, and I was like, oh, this isn't like the weird world, like because it was so brand new and like no one knew what was going on. So I'm like, okay, you guys are real human beings with that are doing acting and like really talented at what you're doing. And yeah, I was a film crew member. I was like filming like all the drama going down, and
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yes.
that rolled into My Hockey Alpha, where I like kind of I had my first big action where I was like I shoved the lead actress and she fell into the arms of the lead actor, and I was like, oh, this is great. I love this. Like, and everyone's on set. It was just good vibes and youthful energy that just like they're just striving to just be better. And yeah, that was a good, I think, great way to just step into it for sure.
Yeah, is to kind of be in the background, so to speak, of a non-lead and kind of get your
Oh yeah,
footing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Michael, did you want to take a
Yeah, yeah.
guess?
More on the verticals. How many have you done so far that have been released?
I believe all of them. All of them that I have shot have been released up until
So
this
far,
point.
okay.
So far, yeah, I don't have any on the slate at the moment. I know this is kind of pivoting a little from verticals, but because of those fires, this January now the commercial audition stuff has really picked up, and I think it's just because of the new year, the spring savings kind of commercials. I know the Super Bowl, the award shows are coming up, and so like luckily that's kind of where I've been at for the last
Looking for
couple
those
of
kind of
months.
jobs right now. Well,
Right, yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, that
Right,
makes
and I
sense.
think just a lot of like the fiction filmmakers that are making these verticals, all they they went on holiday, and so it's been a little slower on my part. And I mean this is also just segueing into the next thing where I'm in that like supporting actor range right now. So I fill that role at the moment, and yeah, no, it's been great. I'm really excited for the next one. I have some auditions lined up, so
Well,
I'm
that's
excited.
good. Yeah, because I saw you in. I'm assuming this might be one of your newer ones. Which why can't I remember the? I just had it up here. A One Night Altitude,
Yeah.
and you were the mean brother of the
Yeah.
lead,
Yes, you
Yes.
and
were.
really, really did a number on him. I just
Oh
thought
yeah.
that was so funny. But
Oh, I'm so glad I'm so glad you.
how much did you enjoy playing that part, or didn't you enjoy playing that part?
I loved it. I think, and I think if I could do those villain roles for the rest of Vertical timeline, I would not mind. It's such an awesome opportunity to like do some character acting and
Yeah,
like really just be the opposite of who I am, and they encourage it. They love you going to 11 on some of those
or
scenes.
12. I know. Yeah.
And yeah, and it's just it's so much fun. And if I had to pick like the roles that'll take
Mhm.
I will take immediately, it's those antagonist villain roles. And
That was my next question.
yeah,
Would are you try to strive to get those?
yeah, oh, yeah, are great. And it's it's like it feels low stakes too when I hop onto set, because I'm in command. I tell myself that I'm in command of the scene, and so it just like the nerves are a lot less, and like it's just I so easily just transform into vertical land and be jealous at my brother and try to steal his company and his and the characters are great. I love like I have a fear of heights, yet I want to be a pilot. Like that's something you don't really get thrown at you often, and so it's just
No,
it's fun
no.
to play. It's fun to play that. It's great. It's so much fun.
And how close were you, or wasn't that even the edge of a building that you were standing on?
That was one of my first like cool little green screen moments. That was
Okay, that was great. Okay.
really they and these crews are so awesome. They're so good at like knowing that we need to hustle, but like also like we need to make the shot look pretty good, especially when we're doing green screens. And so yeah, they had me on an Apple box, and then they put kind of like fake flooring on top of the Apple box, and then the green screen is like down below me and just like this over the shoulder shot. And they're like, oh yeah, really move your arms, and like, and I'm like, oh, this is silly, this is gonna look ridiculous. And
It looked good.
I when it's done, I'm like, oh, I'm really on top of the building right now.
Yeah, because that's why I was wondering. I said they wouldn't have done that, but I figured it was green screen, but I wanted to find out because that was just like, wow. But also on the same film, well, just general, would you like to play a lead, or do you prefer being the villain in the background so you don't have as many lines to learn? Or are you good at memorization and retaining it?
Great. Yeah, great questions. I would love to take on some lead roles for sure. Definitely. I don't audition for them too much. But if they ever came my way, I would give it my all. I think we're starting to get into like the looks, right? And that's kind of just all about casting and what you're bringing to the table. And I think I have this youthful presence that sometimes just doesn't hit that CEO like macho man that like is needed at the moment. And I used to fight that, like, especially when I first started like auditioning, is like, no, give me the audition. Like, I can't do that. And then when I really just sat and, okay, well, what about the assistants? What about the jealous brothers? What about the, and I felt like I was able to connect with these characters too, they're looking for attention in the story just as much as I'm looking for attention on screen. You know what I'm saying? As an actor.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
And I think that like it just, I can almost just relate to the character more, and I don't think it has any, and I mean usually like the lines really don't even have to do with it either, because when the brother, the assistant, is in the scene, most of the times I have more dialogue than the lead. Not obviously the lead has more lines just in general.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give a monologue where, you know, we found the birth certificate and we need to take you to the hospital XYZ, and okay, get the car right away. And so I still definitely like have those moments where I'm like, okay, I gotta get and to answer your question, like, and this is why I was on the improv team in high school, was those damn lines, man, memorizing them. I definitely wish I could be the cool actor that like just takes a snapshot and I'm like, all right, guys, let's roll.
Yeah.
No, it takes, you know, I need a night before to like soak it all in, especially at the rate we're moving with these verticals.
Which is fast, yes.
It's very fast, and they will, whether you deliver or not, they need to and will move on. So it's this challenge of, it's like, I'm gonna give them 3 great takes, and it's like kind of like baseball. It's like, all right, strike 1, get it out, you know what I'm saying? And then
there you go, Marcia.
Strike 3. But they're really great about picking it up, and that's that fast pace, like, and that's how, hats off to the crew, is like they're able to really work with you because they know they're not giving you enough time to soak in the roles, and they make you look really good considering that we have so little time to get the stuff done.
That is true. I'm going to ask you one more question. I'm going to go to Marcia, and I know what she's going to talk about. Um, when you first started doing verticals, and you had to tell your parents, any siblings you had, friends, especially if you started in 2023, which
Right,
was
early.
at the kind of near the beginning of when they were in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
How did you explain it to people what you were doing? Did you say that you were doing a vertical and they gave you a funny face and didn't know what the heck you were talking about? Or did you say something else?
That was, I mean, so what are you doing right now, DJ? Like, how's LA? Like, what do you else do? What are you doing besides acting? Right. I'm like, no, I'm doing these verticals. That's the motor that I have going right now. And oh, what's a vertical? And I say, like, this is, you are the person I'm explaining to right now. So I say, so TikTok, Instagram, the swiping aspect of it. I say take that and take your favorite soap opera, telenova, and bring it together. And that like is enough for them to like picture it. And then 8 times out of 10, they're like, oh, I know what you're talking about, blah,
They've
blah, blah,
seen
blah.
them.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen it
Mm-hmm.
before, XYZ. And I'm like, yep, it is and then you go on the whole, like, it's a huge industry and like, there's a lot going on with it. And people are making money, therefore people are getting paid for it.
Which is nice. Yeah.
Which is extremely nice. And majority of them are, they'll tell me like, oh, I'll watch the ad, I'll sit all the way through it, but I don't download it because I know I'm gonna get hooked. And so, but I don't have anyone in my personal life who's like, who's in it, who has a subscription and which I wish I did, because I really would. I mean, all my friends and people in my space are on the other end of it. So I just wish I knew or was friends with someone that like could give me their perspective more on, just as a fan of the content and like the industry.
Well, I think I know what other question Marcia's going to ask you now. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Marcia, because I think I know at least 2 or 3 questions she's going to ask you from what you just said. Go ahead, Marcia.
I should challenge you, Michael, to that, to see if you know me that well.
Well, you want me to write it down and then?
But, however, you did talk about sports a little bit.
One.
I am a major professional sports spectator fan, and I noticed that you have football in your likes or how.
Oh yeah, right.
So yeah, tell me about that. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I am a big. Let me just.
Oh yeah, go for it. Okay.
Yesterday was tough. The Chicago Bears lost to the Rams.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, that was heartbreaking. But it was a great season. So I'm nowhere near from Chicago, but my dad, who grew up in actually in DC, like Fairfax County, his Pee Wee team was the Bears, and Walter Payton was about to beat the all-time rushing record, and he's like, "That's my team." And then I was born into the like worst era of Chicago Bears history. So like I have never seen better Chicago Bears football, and I'm so proud of the team. And I'm a huge Chicago Bears fan, which is what I played football in high school, which is where I put that down as a skill in my resume and an interest, because I loved playing, and I played in high school. And after sophomore year, I realized I did not want to get pummeled for 3 hours after school every day, which led me to a good friend of mine, Carly Curry, who works in the industry now over at Paramount. She turns around and we're in AP US Gov my junior year. I don't want to do football anymore. And she says, DJ, you should do improv tryouts. They're after school. And like, that was kind of like, that was that transition moment from like playing soccer. I was that sports kid. My parents enrolled me in every rec league they could. And I was like, oh, like I could you know, I love making people laugh and doing all of that stuff, and so that was that segue with sports. But yeah, and my roommate is a huge Spurs fan, so I never was big into basketball before living with him, but like he's kind of taught me how to like get excited for it. And you know, they got Wembanyama, who's just crazy on the court. And I know. What about Marshall? Who you
Well,
for?
being from New York City, uh, I am a Jets. I have been a Jets fan. I still am a Jets fan. It's getting harder by the minute, but
No, no.
and then
There's
on the
there's
minute
light
I'm
at the end of the
playing.
tunnel. Coming from a Bears fan, I promise. I
Yes,
promise.
yes, we can commiserate. But at least your team really did. You got to the playoffs. You got, hey,
We beat the Packers. That's it. That's all that
that,
matters.
yeah. And so what positions did you kind of toy with when you were playing football?
I went in green. I mean, I knew football, but I did not play prior to high school, and
Mm-hmm.
so I played like I played outside linebacker, but the way our defense was schemed, it was, I mean, you see me, like I'm no outside linebacker. I mean, I was a little bit bigger, but like
Yeah, yeah.
nowhere where I should
Mm-hmm.
have been in terms of weight. So
Mm-hmm.
they schemed me in a way where I was more of like I played a lot more zone, and I was DB-ish, just kind of taking care of
Oh,
my area,
okay.
and that was a lot of fun. I
Mm-hmm.
loved playing. I started my sophomore year. I played on the JV team and
Mm-hmm.
traveling, and growing up in Southern California, we got some crazy high schools. Like there's a big I don't know what the lingo is, but there's a lot of players coming out of high schools in Southern California that start in the Big Ten, SEC, and so like
Mm-hmm.
we would. Now I'm age 25, and so uh, the last few years we're watching college football, me and my roommate, and we're like, oh, he Rancho Cucamonga, like he went to, like he went to, like he was second string when we played freshman, and he was on the varsity. It was like there was some sort of connection where like, oh yeah, we technically played him. Like, yeah, like we know him,
Mm-hmm.
which has been
That's
crazy too.
cool.
I'm right. It's like if I stopped playing football halfway through high school, but if that's your passion and you keep going, I'm I'm gonna see you on TV one day. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Have you been able to be in the stadium to watch a game?
Yes, I went to, and I'm really glad I did. I was able to see the Bears beat the Chargers in San Diego before they moved to LA.
Nice.
This was years ago, but that's a great memory just because that
Yes.
doesn't exist anymore. And it
Yeah.
was a Sunday night game, and just I have a picture of just the sunset coming down, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, I miss it. And since then, I've been to one game over at SoFi Stadium here in LA, and it is state of the art. It is crazy huge. I
Looks
just
beautiful.
feel like they sink the field though, which is weird. Like it's almost like a bowl, which, so if you're in like nosebleeds, it's like even lower than any other stadium I've been to. And
Mm-hmm.
I've the drama and gossip I've heard about concerts they put on there is because it's so deep into the fishbowl. Like sometimes you can't even like hear the concert you're going to because you're just
Hmm.
so far removed from like the sound
Yeah.
bubble.
Interesting.
But yeah, I love going to sports games. I really, and I need to go next year when the season starts. Is like a college game is UCLA, USC, and there's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much school culture over
Mm.
there. It's great. That's
And
one thing I was bummed there wasn't uh, a huge sports presence at SFSU, but I mean that's just how schools go.
yeah.
USF though, I think they've got great basketball. University of San
Yeah.
Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm watching you move your hands, and that brings me to another one of your talents, that
Oh, yeah.
magic.
Oh, just a little. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
what? Yeah, you do.
I grew up slamming those videos down on YouTube, and then that rolled me into like you could pay like to like learn from the big guys like on TV, and not just like the magic sets, but like some of the just craziest stuff like Theory 11. I mean, Theory 11, these are the guys that were supervising the Now You See Me movies. And so
Mhm.
when those movies came out, I was like 12, 11, 12, like, guys, like, this is real magic and this is great. And oh, I love it. And so I still have my cards with me, and I was trying to impress girls, obviously. And, but then of course, magic kind of isn't cool anymore in late high school. I'm doing other stuff. I'm acting. I'm playing football. And then when I roll into the acting stuff, I'm like looking for talents and stuff I want to do. And like I said, the strikes are going on. I'm unemployed. I'm just auditioning, so might as well also pick up some cards in my hand. And
Mhm.
um, definitely, I'm not where I was when I was an 11-year-old with nothing but school to do. But there's been moments where like they need a finger flick here and there, and like a little shuffle, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm able to do that, because I mean, you play cards with people sometimes, and I don't know, maybe even yourself, like it's just hard to shuffle cards unless you got the finger, like you got it down, you know.
Mhm.
I know for verticals they call for some roles that like they're at a casino and they need dealers.
Mhm.
I always submit to them because I feel like I could give a good, you know.
You're natural.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. So I've seen Penn and Teller's Fool Us. I like to watch that sometimes. And close up magic with cards is one of my favorite things to see because it such dexterity, and it really is magic to me. I'm like a kid. so
Right.
so thank you for keeping that going in young people. That's really cool. And
Yeah,
I also
no, we need to keep it going for sure.
yeah. And if I might go back to not too much of a Wayback Machine. Sometimes I like to go in the Wayback Machine, but you did a short that really was quite riveting for me, and it was Here and Now,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
and it's won some awards. It won some awards. It won quite a few.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how did you get involved with that project? And you can tell us as much as you want to about,
Oh,
the.
yeah, no, no, I'd love to. So yeah, that was Jay Andrews. Jay Andrew, he uh is very talented filmmaker up in San Francisco. And we shared a class or two in college, and we we gelled, we liked each other's work. And he uh he was kind of gearing up to really like, yeah, this, it is school, and but this is the big one. This is the one I've been wanting to do forever. And he wanted me involved with that. And this was kind of, yeah, my first. I'm still kind of fresh just into filmmaking, and I'd be honored to. And it was like a really like sad story, and it
Yes.
had like these very like darkly dark humor moments, and it just was like, okay, this is a lot different than any like kind of 1 minute 2 minute like class project I've ever done at the time. And so we did it, and it was my first overnight shoot where we come in there at 4 p.m. and then we're not out of there till 6 a.m. when the sun rises, because we needed it to be dark the whole time in the house. And uh, just like learning how to turn my life around and drink coffee and go to bed early the night before, and or go to bed late the night before. And it was a lot of fun. It was a great time, and it did so well in the festival
Yes.
world, of especially in the San Francisco area. It was fun to be able to like do red carpet stuff and take pictures and see it on the big screen and everything. And like that was, I think, the moment too where I was like, okay, like I think I can take this to LA. Like I think I can really, it kind of just, it was that next bolster of confidence that I needed to
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
going, because you need that every once in a while for sure.
Hmm. And
But
I
shout
think
out
that's
Jay, he's
yeah.
incredible. He's incredible.
I think that it is it's a short film, and before I knew it, it was over. I thought, wait a minute, I thought there was some. It was so well done, and I want to thank you for your role in that, because it is it's quite an affecting film, and so watch it if you get the chance to. It's really amazing. But Michael, do you want to go
Yeah,
back
let me
to
go
me?
back to me, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll come back to you for the final stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just want to say thank you, Roger Noriega, for giving us a like on Facebook. We really enjoy that. And I see people watching us live and they're not saying a word in the chat room.
Yeah,
If
you
you
can
have
ask
a
a
question for
question.
DJ, we've got about 10 more
Yeah.
minutes. So, throw a question out and I'll give up one of my questions. But DJ, have you been able so far in your career to go out of the country to do a vertical or something else yet? Have you been able to do that?
I have not, and I'm waiting for the day. I'm waiting for the call. I'm passport's ready to go. I've had it in the works for a second, and then just scheduling and things change.
Scheduling,
All I
yes.
just
Mhm.
film stuff. But I'd love to. I mean, I'd love to. I was saying I haven't been in New York, which is another huge film hub that like I need to explore, and
Mhm.
Mm.
I know they're shooting verticals all the time over there. I'd love to hop over there, but even leaving the country, I know they're shooting all over the place.
Any
Tinaz,
particular ones that are on your bucket list that you'd like to go to?
I was
Mhm.
gonna say Istanbul, Turkey. I have um I'd love to visit Tinaz. That's like Turkish. My grandfather
Mhm.
was born there, and I think it'd be just a great opportunity to see it and even work there and make a movie there, and even China. I know that's like where a good chunk of them are also shot overseas.
Mhm.
And I love the culture. I love the the cities. And when I talk to co-stars that I know that have gone over there on set, they always talk about just like how uh, it's just so different, but it's also just beautiful, and the cities and the people and the eats, and I'm like, I need to see all that. I need to do that, but I also know the work life is a lot different out there. Is
Yeah.
their hours are a lot different. Their camera setups are a lot different, and yeah, that's I need bucket list. Like I need to go there. I need to go there. You know.
Yeah, and it's true. I mean, when I first saw my, first vertical online, which was back last year, October, end of October timeframe, when I
Mhm.
decided I, wanted to have some vertical people on. I mean, I'd started looking back then, and the industry was still really new in the US and other places,
Right.
and everybody was busy. I talked to so many people in October, November, December. My first guest for a vertical was in February
Wow.
because they
Yeah.
were all booked so much.
Yeah.
And I went at that time, I just saw this narrow little path, and I went, I'll get through all these actors in 3 months. We're on this is month 12,
Wow. Wow.
and we haven't even scratched the surface.
Not even.
Yeah. It
And
is. It's
it
crazy.
has changed, it has grown. And I remember when I brought Marcia in on it. I mean, she goes,
Mhm.
"You're gonna do what?" You
What is
know,
this crap?
uh,
but knowing that, where would you what would you like to do next? Your dream role, this just doesn't have to be a vertical, but
right.
what is your dream role that you would really like to play the part of what? Or genre or something?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is it that you would really, really like to do?
I would love to shoot a period piece, Western or war genre. I
Hmm.
I love I mean, you go to film school, you do you're really, you know, doing the verticals and realizing the amount of money and production costs there are with doing all of these things, and knowing you're a part of that, to me, is like a huge win. Because I mean, I've loved the shorts I've done. I love all of the credits I've done. Uh, unfortunately, there's no explosions. There's no dirt on the face. There's no crawling through mud, and I want to do that.
Mhm.
I think that'd be so much fun. It'd be a crazy challenge. The work days I know would be long, and I know the friends I would make along the way would be forever. And I don't know. Yeah, obviously I have this fantasy in my head of how this war film is going to go, which the topic probably isn't too great, like something to celebrate about. But to be a part of like that project, to me, would be, I did it. I can walk away and be happy now, for sure.
To make it the ultimate, where would you like it to film?
Ooh,
Your ultimate show, where would you like to film it?
in LA, because that's where it should be shot and always shot. Is Los Angeles, California, the capital of movies and where dreams are made.
There you
Sure.
go.
Right.
There
did
you
Stay
it
in
go.
LA,
perfect right
baby.
there.
Hashtag stay in LA.
Yeah. Marsha, I'm going to go ahead and go back to you for your
Okay.
final round of interrogations.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, I noticed that the chair that you're in, you talked about war and that kind of thing. So that looks like a gamer chair kind of to me.
It is I think it's one of those ergonomics. So I actually
Okay,
never
so
priced it because I'm
oh,
like
I
too
see. Your
small for
approach
it,
in
and like,
that.
yeah, it is
Nice.
not working the way I intended it to, which is why, like, I apologize if I've been kind of like hunched this whole time. But yeah, so I need something to remove this, because it does inhibit my ability to play some video games, for sure. I like playing some games.
Mm,
It's been, I just growing up being an adult, like, oh wow, now I understand why you slow down. Because I played as
mhm.
a kid, and I'm like, oh, I wouldn't, Dad, why don't you play all day with me? And he's like, I got 30 minutes, that's it. Like, oh, wow. So when I can, though, I do love, there's the skate game where that came out recently. It's just called Skate, and it's a sequel to an old game I played when I was younger, and it's a fun kind of arcadey skating game.
Mm,
And the other big one, which I want to shout out to, which is Crusader Kings 3. It's like Risk. It's super
mm,
nerdy, but it's like playing Risk, except it's during the years I think like 960 to 1300,
mm,
and you kind of play through
mm.
that feudal era of Europe, and like you're doing the
Interesting.
whole, like, do you want to do like a diplomatic route where you kind of take over the Holy Roman Empire through the inside, or do you want to like take over the Byzantine Empire and then like absorb them and then become a giant? It
Mm,
was just, I'm learning history along the way. I'm learning because they use like real life people, duchesses and dukes,
mm,
and um, but the problem is, and why I've kind of slowed down, is like once you sit down to like play, you're just kind of, you're going, there's no stopping. Year 960, 961, 60, you just kind of simulate through the years, and
mm.
next thing you know, it's 4 in the morning, and you got to
You have to be up by 5:30
Yeah,
to
but
go to a.
real life,
all
right?
time, and then you're a zombie on set, and yeah, it's like, because
Mhm,
there's no end game, there's no like match complete, Call of Duty, it's done. It's like, if the ticker goes as long as you want it to, and yeah,
mhm.
I love gaming though. It's a great, and even like when I'm memorizing lines,
Yeah.
it's a great way. I throw in the lines through voice memos or my line reading app, and then I'm playing the game, and then it's just, because my
Ah.
fingers, they're a little more mundane. I'm doing like the diplomacy and attacking Great Britain and then taking over
Mhm.
Ireland, and then I also have the vertical lines going in about how I'm gonna take over the
Just to
aviation
be
company.
right,
There
your
you
brother's
go.
company.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, going back to the your verticals just a minute. You in uh Daddy, Mommy is waiting for you. You have a lot of scenes with a child, a young actor
Yes,
where
yes,
you're pretty darn mean to her, but
I am. I really am. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That that experience was definitely new for me. I haven't been in that many scenes with a child actor before.
hmm
Um, and she was great. Like she in fact she would make me laugh because the cut she would do her coverage and then she would of course kill it, the tears coming out, and then I'd come in for my coverage and I'm shaking her shoulder and camera's not on her, so she's going, making the face, and I'm like, "Ugh, you're making me laugh." Yeah,
good
she
for
has great
her.
energy, and it was so much fun. Where I had to put her up over my shoulders, and so when I was cast for the role, it was you're the assistant to the mafia era. Oh, I'm kind of out of focus.
Yes, yeah.
Um, I was the assistant to the mafia era, and I'm like, okay, like this is
Mhm.
gonna be that like diplomatic kind of character role.
Mhm.
And as I'm reading through the script, I'm like, this
Hmm.
is mean. Like I'm playing like kind of a mean role. Like every time I'm interacting with this child, I am making sure she knows that she is a bastard. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, like the crew, Zachary Riss, who played the lead, he was
Mhm.
phenomenal and just great set presence, and everyone just had a great time. And I think that's just what makes a a good set is just everyone got along. Because yeah, some of the scenes would get aggressive, and it's good to know we're just playing pretend at the end of the day, and at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But like I said, they like it turned up to 11 and 12, so it kind of gets to
Mhm.
a point where like you are transcending realism. Like it's played up, and it
Yeah.
becomes less like I need to take a breather in my trailer for a second, take an Ambien. Like it's never like that. But it's so much
Yeah.
fun. It's so much fun.
I love these behind the scenes stories. That's so cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
And a couple other things. Your hair is curly. Is that natural? Is that
Yeah, yeah, this is so yeah, I think I just kind of updated my headshots because it's kind of turned into this look now. It took me a while to get it down. I grew when I was born, I had really curly hair, and then it was cut, and then it came out straight, and my mom was crying and was like, "Where did
oh my
my
goodness.
curls go?" And as I got older, they started coming back. I was, in high school trying just new products to like, take care of my hair and have good hygiene. And yeah, it just started coming out a lot. I mean, right now I'm due for a cut. In fact, I was like really trying to get one before we started today, but I think we made it work.
Oh,
Um,
it's super cute.
but
Yeah.
thanks. But uh, it just started coming out a lot curlier, and I found this like for those with curly, long, thick hair. There's this like olive oil, tea tree oil kind of blend that
Mm,
was like the dryness, like it completely got rid of all of that. And that was because then, if I'm overusing shampoo and conditioner, it like becomes
mhm.
all, messes up the pH balance. And so I look back, anyways, my whole point is I look back on my early self tapes, and you probably see my early pictures and some of my early short
Yeah.
films and
Mhm.
promotions. Like I was, I did not have a look down yet. It's thank you for asking. Yeah, it's I was my dad. It's the Turkish side of me. I got
Mhm.
my mom's like Scandinavian, the whiteness, and then like the thick eyebrows and like all the hair. That's
A
the
good
dad side.
mix.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
mix. And probably my last question is I love to ask because there's so many reality shows today. There's, Survivor, there's Dancing with the Stars, there's singing shows, there's cooking shows, there's pottery shows, there's dating shows. So, DJ, if you had to pick one show to participate on, what do you think it would be?
Ooh. No, that's a great question. There's a lot of, me and my friends, we joke. I think I need a good 20 more pounds on me, maybe a few extra packs of abs. But like Love Island is hilarious. And so me and my buddies joke like, what if I was on Love Island? I could do this. I could sway all the girls. But I think my first immediate thought went to that new Fear Factor show that premiered recently.
Oh
I
yeah.
would I think I'd love to try it.
Wow.
I think I'm s- I sort of have a fear of heights, which I guess worked for my vertical a little bit. But I'm not I'm I'm ready to test it, So I feel like I'm in a spot where like they would want you as a contestant for Fear Factor, where like maybe in the moment I'd start freaking out, but by then it's too late and cameras are rolling and
And
that's
that's what they
the
want.
fun
They
of it,
want
right?
good reactions, right?
Yeah,
True.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
you give it to them.
So what's
Okay.
Johnny Knoxville? That's his name. He's the
Johnny
new host. Yeah,
Knoxville.
yeah.
Yeah.
Great pick.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I want to thank you so much for being with us today, giving us some peeks behind the lens, behind the camera, and it's been super fun. And I hope maybe you'll come back and give us some more um, hints and fun. And
I'd love to. Yeah, no, 100%. Please stay in touch. I'm blessed to be here. I love talking about this stuff and you guys just having this platform and I think you guys are like also the um like one of the first like outside of the vertical world, like coming into like kind of
Yeah.
propel actors and I'm sure, I don't know, I haven't checked if you've done beyond actors in the vertical world, but like I'd love
Oh
to see
yeah.
it.
Been
yeah.
doing it for years.
Yeah, or just like producers in vertical worlds, or just like just that side. It's growing so much, and
Yeah.
I
That's lovely. Yeah.
you guys are part of why that's happening. So thank you
Thank
so
you so much.
much.
Yeah. Now my final question is, maybe it won't be my final question.
Oh, a comment.
We have a comment, Aisha. I was going to say, and thank you, Aisha, for the like on Facebook. Since you like games,
Hey, Chef.
have you thought about anime voice acting or
Great.
game voice acting?
Yes. That was on.
Is that on your bucket list too?
No, well, that's not on the bucket list. You need to get this done in 2026. Like,
Okay.
get it going. Like, there's
That's
no
your
reason
New Year's resolution.
Yes, yeah, it's I know I've got it. I can do it. It's just a matter of like getting that setup going and at that point it's just
Yeah.
I need a setup, I need this, I need that. It's excuses. I need to sit down and just get that set up, build the reel, send that over to the reps and I would love to the dubs. I grew up like watching the Toonami on Cartoon Network where they showed the dubs after 9 p.m. Uh, I would always think it's just so cool. And I know it was at the time, it was such a small, like the few studios in Vancouver and like in Texas, like just small
In
little dub
Texas, yeah.
houses where they just would have 4 actors doing 10 different anime a year because there was no one dubbing anime. And like, I was like, I want to be one of those guys. And so now all these years later, I'm like, oh, to see anime and just dubbing and just international animation in general is I met so many of my castmates who were like, yeah, I'm dubbing this thing coming out of Brazil, and then I'm like, oh, that's so cool to hear like Brazil has like an animation scene going, and just yes, that's a great question, and yeah, please be on the lookout for some voice acting down the line.
There you go.
Uh,
And I'm going to still do my last question, even though we might go over a few minutes. When you are not prepping for a role, when you are not auditioning, you're not playing games, what else do you do in your spare time, or is that all there is?
I am a movie nut still. I mean, I went to film school. I love going to the movies, which might be to my, I don't know, it's not detriment, but like it's, sometimes you do need something away from the industry. But like that's what got me into it is I love, you have the AMC A-list pass, which I'm sure you two may be aware of, is where you like pay the subscription. I'm sure you've gotten the spiel on how much of a deal it is to be able to see all these movies whenever you want. And when I'm trying to cut costs for leisure activities out here, it's nice knowing I can put on something nice. I can, throw on a little spray and then go to the Burbank Town Center, and there's a yard house there. If I can make it for happy hour, I can get like a drink or something, and then I walk myself over to the movies, and I get a little 4 or 5 hour experience for $10 for a beer or something. And it's become almost like ritual, like we're okay, like I can turn everything off. And I really understood it. Yeah, it wasn't until recently where I really understood like this is why theaters matter, and like this is like you do not get the same experience outside of the movie theater.
No, you don't.
It's no. And I was not, I grew up with in the phone. I'm a Gen Z phone, computer everywhere in my face, and like it took me all of this time to like, okay, like there's a reason this is projected big. And I'm a nerd for the formats, the 35 mil, the IMAX 70, and that was, I love living in LA because of that too. Is a lot of other people like that stuff too. So there's just so much of that going on all the time. Yeah, you will find me at the movie theater. But when I'm really needing to turn all that off, I'll basketball. I do go out and shoot hoops. Nothing crazy. But you may find me at a local court shooting some hoops as far as just hobbies. And football, when they're not giving me a freaking heart attack, in those last 2 minutes every time. So I feel like I've aged a few years after this last season.
Really?
Well, yeah. That's a good answer. But and I'd like to also thank you for coming, DJ.
Thank you, Michael.
Gracing us with your presence and your time. We do appreciate it. And everybody out there, I'm glad Aisha threw in the question. I wish all those other people had thrown out a question, but we understand you're shy. Next time DJ is on, get some questions in there for him. And thank you all for coming. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.